There was this Bigfoot researcher named Ralph. Now, Ralph had spent his whole life looking for Bigfoot. And he said, in all these years, he had never had an actual encounter. And he said that was really all he wanted more than anything was to experience firsthand Bigfoot. Now, he said he had heard about some Bigfoot sightings in northern Wisconsin near this Native American reservation. And so he made his way out to this area to stay for a couple of weeks. So he said when he got there, he met with this Native American man who knew the woods around this area pretty well. And he was talking with this guy, if I want to see, what you guys describe as Bigfoot, like where would I go? And so this guy, gets out a map and he says, I would check in this area and this area. Well, as Ralph is looking at this map, he notices there's an area that's circled and kind of crossed off. And Ralph's like, what is in this area? And he said, no, I don't talk about that. And he said, well, is there something there? And he says, look, do not go there. And he said, what do you mean? He said, that's where the young ones live. And he goes, what do you mean young ones? And he said, that's where the young ones of their kind, that is their home. They stay there. And it's a very dangerous place. Do not go to this place. So Ralph's like, okay, yeah, I'll stay away from there. But in his mind, he's thinking, for sure, I'm going to go and check this place out. So he sets off on this expedition through the woods. And sure enough, he makes his way onto the map to the area that's crossed out. So he said he gets there during the day and, he starts looking around this area, setting up equipment. He doesn't have any experiences. And he's like, maybe he was just trying to scare me because there is nothing here. I'm looking for signs of Bigfoot. I don't see any footprints, markings, anything that would indicate that he would be in this area. But he decides, you know what, I'll stay a night and see what happens. So nightfall comes and it's completely dark. He has nothing but a flashlight at this time, and he is just kind of, sitting around waiting for something to happen. Well, in his backpack, he had brought this recording of a baby crying because there was this theory that Bigfoot may respond to young children crying. So he plays this recording on this CD player he has, and you could hear a baby crying throughout the woods. And he said, it was such a still, calm night that it probably was traveling a very, very good distance. And he said as soon as he puts this sound on, right, he can hear something crashing through the woods, and it's coming right towards his direction. And he said in various other places around him, he could hear these crashing sounds. And then he proceeded to hear these really loud screams. And he said at this moment, he started to panic because he's like, oh no, what did I do? I'm out here all alone. This is crazy. So he said he got down on the ground and he just started bawling. And he's like, please, I'm sorry I came here. Please just leave me alone. Please. And he said the screams just kept getting worse and worse. And the only thing he could think of was just to walk on his hands and knees and kind of crawl out of this area. So he began crawling, and he said all around him he could just hear these things screaming and moving and running by him. And in this whole time, it's completely dark. He doesn't want to turn on his flashlight and see what is out there. So he said he just kept crawling and crawling. And he said the next thing he knows, he felt what he thought was a weird rock. And he said he turned on the flashlight and he could see that he was grabbing a very large, hairy foot. So he hurried up, turns off his flashlight, and he said he got up and he just took off running. And he said whatever this was, it just chased him the whole way, but it never went up to him or physically hurt him. It was just trying to scare him. And he said after he had made it a few miles away from this place, everything quieted down. And he said after that, he knew that Bigfoot was real